The FC24 meta has actually got out of control. I'm going to be here to show you guys the ePremier League final. So these are some of the best players in the entire world on this game. They are not just mechanic abusers, although that's how the game is forcing them to play at the minute. These are genuine top tier players. And I want to educate you guys, help you get more wins, but also showcase just how downhill this game has gone, because some of the stuff you're going to see the top players doing is insane. Let's try and hit 200 likes, subscribe if you want more videos on how to improve, and let's get into it. If you want the cheapest FC24 coins to get ahead of the competition, check out MMOEXP by clicking the link down below and use code JambooUK for 5% off. Okay, so this is the E-Premier League final. This is the second game. Manchester City, who Tex plays for, I'm sure you all know who he is. They are currently 1-0 up, and this is the second leg of the final. So this is what really matters. And I just want to show you guys how the top players are currently playing so that you can implement this, you know, if you want to get more wins. Or you can just, you know, laugh at how bad this game is. So initially here, we're going to see a corner. You're going to see every pro player whipping the corners to Haaland in the near post. So this is one of the first times this year that I would actually recommend you changing up your team. Because if you've got players like Haaland, you know, with the aerial plus, you can completely change the way that you are playing this game. You're going to see a lot of weird things that we will highlight in this video. You see here the composure of a top player, you know, passing around the back. You see a player lock into the midfield there. So that is the small intricate details, you know, a simple pass player lock that you're going to see the top players doing. And in general, it's about being secure in possession. I say that as he loses the ball, but you're going to see, you know, the majority of top players will not be losing the ball easily. Straight up here, as you can see, that is an L1 cross into Haaland, so a lofted cross, and you're going to see a lot of this. Absolute carnage in the box, chaos going on at the back. Brighton are able to get out the danger here. You see good dribbling in the midfield, really struggling with the press of Mateus Bonnano here. When you're in this position, you really need to be targeting the runners. You can see here, Gullit is an obvious threat. You've got Haaland in the middle as well. And you need to be targeting these as the defender and making sure that you're cutting off the lane. So you're going to see here, manages to recover, gets a little bit unlucky. A sprint boost there off of the step over. And you're always playing for those sort of cutbacks. You know, he got into the box with Gullit, looks to cut it back to Rashford. Good defending. Brighton absolutely hanging on here. But as you can see, recycling to the edge of the box. All the way back. Left stick dribbling. Playing for that extra pass always. You can see the extra passes there. And that is something that you guys want to be implementing into your own game as well. Another corner, you know, that corner is probably the most broken thing in the game right now. If you have Haaland in there, I think it automatically puts, you know, the player that has the power header or the aerial at the front there. And you can just smash the ball into that near post time and time again. So for you guys in foot champs, you know, that want your easy goals, that is a surefire way, you know, to make sure you're getting them. But here, obviously, no immediate danger. The mistake he made there is he went in too aggressive. You always want to be marking that line where possible. It's the only place Gullit could go without having to go back. So keep that in mind. Step over boost there. Trying to mark that line. Gullit just being Gullit. Getting all the weird bounces that we associate him to get. But you can see the continuous use of the player lock here. Recycling the ball to the edge. Looking for that driven pass into the middle, which is something that you guys also want to be getting into your game. You can see here the immediate danger is Haaland, and then the passes into the midfield. So you're going to see here how a top-level defender deals with this. Trying to track and just making sure that he's not leaving an easy pass open. If somebody hits a power shot, you know, from here or any sort of shot, you know that it's probably not going in. So that cutback was the one to mark. A really quick switch here, which is going to enable him to get across. That is insane. That has to go at a high level. If we go back there, it was more, you know, good from the attacking than it was bad defending. But you get here, this is absolutely fine, you know, from the defensive standpoint. Nothing really on here. But as soon as you give up this space here, you need to be so careful. Obviously, Haaland could shoot, plays for the extra pass. The mistake he's made here is he's pressed the tackle button and he's dove in and got caught in the animation. But from the attacking standpoint, that absolutely has to go in. It really does. You're going to see here another corner. It's insane. Whipping the corner. You know, it's absolute chaos. I've never seen anything like this since FIFA 19 sort of times. I really haven't. That could have easily gone in as well. But the game has gone so aerial. Like, everything's in the air, whether it's set pieces, you know, these looped crosses into players like Haaland, player lock crosses, which I'm sure we're going to see some of them in this. It is absolutely insane. But you can see here again, playing the ball out of the back. You really need to take your time with it, not just at a high level, but you guys and your champs as well. You can see here it's waiting for openings, not rushing forward. The number one mistake I see people make is not doing that. You know, he's waited perfectly and got that switch out wide, which is also important. Too many people, you know, trying to dribble their way, be too direct out of defence and end up losing the ball. You're fine losing the ball in your opponent's half. But you can see here, it's a bit of an onslaught at the moment. He's managed to find that cutback again. Right stick switch onto his centre back here, and it's just about being composed. I mean, he has got so lucky that his AI defender is in that position and he's there for the block. That is absolutely insane. It's a guaranteed goal with Hullet if that player just happens to not be there. Like, that's Cole Palmer. I don't know what is going on. That is insane. But what I have noticed since this patch, there's definitely new defensive animations. You know, I'm seeing AI players slide in out of nowhere, making the most insane auto tackles, and it's really sad to see. It's never been so assisted in every level of the game. You know, whether it's the passes off of a player lock or your defenders sliding in for you, like it's in a really bad way. I think we can all agree the meta at the minute is honestly horrific. You can let me know your thoughts on it. But yeah, it is attack versus defense at the moment. And if you're in a situation like this in your foot champs where you're under pressure, it really just is about slowing the game down. You know, every time you win that ball back, you need to make sure that you're not losing it quickly. You need to relieve some of that pressure, as he's done there, taking his time, you know, working the ball through the middle. Another rush pass into the midfield. And it's easier said than done, right? You know, we're watching somebody who's an extremely high-level player just crumbling to the press here. And that's not a slight on him. It's just how this game can be. So here, this is going to be some good defending. You know, he's taking his time, keeping his players in position. Perfect defending with Van Dijk. He's shifting across, using the jockey, and it has saved him in that situation. And at this point, you know, 42nd minute, you need to be thinking about the last attack of the half. You really do. So taking his time here, using that fullback switch, which is ever so important in FC24, as we all know. Taking his time here and playing for that last attack. And that is something that you guys want to be doing as well. That's absolutely fine, you know, doesn't matter. We've kept the ball. But he's really struggling to get out of this press. It is an insane press. Really unlucky there with a player lock chipped through ball. Easily could have got in, but the AI defender did step across. But we're going to move into the second half. Let me know your thoughts. Did any of you guys watch this game live? Because it was honestly insane. You guys are going to see the ending of this. Never seen anything like it. And it just about sums up, you know, where this game is currently. So, resuming the second half, more player locks. You guys, you know, if you can't see from this how important learning the player lock is, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's an absolutely vital part of this game. I feel like it's something that people, they don't really want to learn. You know, it's very sweaty. You know, if you're a casual player, you just don't want to be doing all that. But if you're someone who's serious about improving and getting wins, you want to be adding that into your game ASAP. But again here, you know, we're in another situation. Really good defending. We'll go back on this one, because you're often going to find yourselves in a situation like this where there's a potential cutback and you've got to be careful. So what he does right here is he makes up his mind. You'll have so many people here sort of standing off, being passive. He makes a decision to run in and make that tackle, and he does it quickly, and he saves himself from conceding a cutback there. But another corner here, you know, going to be whipped in, as every corner is. Easily could have been a goal. And how do you stop that? Because there's not enough time to move your goalkeeper to the near post. There's not enough time to drag a defender, you know, someone big there. It is just it's just a free hit goal. It really is. I don't think there's ever been so much of a time where having a corner genuinely feels like a penalty at the moment. It is absolutely insanity. But Brighton have managed to get themselves out of danger here for one of the first times in the game, you know, playing around Man City's box, taking his time here, using the player lock fake where possible, driven passes, you know, in and around the box, trying to move the ball quickly, which is very important. You don't want to be stuck in the habit of just using those normal passes all the time. The driven ones, just a bit more zip to them, a bit more purpose, and you'll find that that helps your game 100%. But you can see here the top level from an attacking and defensive standpoint, you know, both being so passive and waiting for the right moment. Beautiful defending there. He stepped into the passing lane, recycled the ball, and this is what you see at the top level, trying to make the most of every possession. He's seen a direct opportunity for a through ball there, and on another day he's through on goal. But you can see it really is like Route 1 aerial football at the minute on FC24. I had some comments on my last video when we looked at pro players, and a lot of people who obviously didn't follow the scene thought that these were, you know, horrific FC players that they'd be. I'm telling you, these are the best of the best players that we're watching. And this is just the way the game is at a top level. And if you replicate this gameplay, you are going to smash people in foot champs. You know, it's just the way it is at the minute. But you see there, so unlucky. He's player lock through balled, and for some reason the game hasn't locked him on, which again sums up the state of the game. That is something we see a lot. You know, players not reacting, taking heavy touches, not locking on. That's typical FC stuff. You know, even at the very highest of levels, this game is going to find a way to rig you at times. But using the whip again, step over, speed boost, recycling the ball, sending his players on runs. Another fake player lock there. See, it's absolute tactical warfare right now. Using the switch across time and time again. And I know a lot of my viewers absolutely hate the fullback switch, but it's such a fundamental, you know, part of FC24. Step over boost again. You see, a lot goes into this. As much as it is mechanic abusing and a lot of the same thing over and over, it's about using things in the right time. You know, it may seem that they're just spamming, you know, a step over boost or doing the same thing, but it is calculated. And if you add these things into your game, you're going to find some success. But we're going into the remaining 20 minutes of regulation time now. Another fullback switch. You can see the manual pressing on show here. You know, when pressing with their attackers, there's not as much second man press. It is about manually running into the passing lanes. Another step over. Sprint boost there. Probably going to go for a switch across. Good player lock into the middle. Yeah, uses the pass out wide. Using the ball roll as well, just to shield the ball, which has been something for a number of years, which is very, very effective. Uses that fullback switch once again. And it really is mental warfare, you know, at this point. It's about who's going to make the mistake, you know, from the attacking standpoint of whether you're going to rush and misplace that pass, or from the defensive standpoint, if you're going to pull a player out. See here, gets the ball into Haaland. It's an absolutely beautiful step over boost. Gets very lucky with the rebound back to him. You can see what that step over boost is able to accomplish. Absolutely spins him there. Beautiful. Unlucky with the keeper movement, but he has managed to get back into the game. We're going to go now. Final 10 minutes. And let's not spoil it, because not a lot happens here. We're going to get into the juicy extra time. So, getting into it now. And you guys have not seen anywhere near the craziest of what's going to go on in this game. And, you know, the title of the video about the state FC24 is currently in, and this meta is going to be showcased completely. So, again, more of the same old, you know, taking time, fullback switching, really just trying to find those openings, you know, for cutbacks and to go back to the edge of the box. the occasional, you know, lofted through ball into a player. Trying to find that perfect opening. If you're against somebody on this game who is good at defending, it is so assisted. And that's not to take away, you know, from Bonnano in this situation. But again, another lofted, chipped through ball. More, you know, prime Stoke City aerial battles. Man, like I say, I've not seen anything like this since FIFA 19. It is absolutely insane. But we are going to be approaching a pretty crazy moment soon. So 5 minutes left of this half of extra time. More recycling of the ball. You can see the constant use of that player lock fake from Brighton. And that's for a number of reasons. Micro moving your players, you know, making the opponent have something to think about. Gets the ball out wide. Another good use of the step over, but it was excellently defended. And at this point, again, you know, a couple of minutes left on the clock. You want to be playing for the last attack of the half. Very, very important. You see here, he's going to try and track the run just offside. It's a good high line from the defence. Plays the ball into the middle. Goes for another aerial flick on there. Gets unfortunate. And now we are right at the end of the first half of extra time. At this point, you really got to try and make that, you know, attack count, which he hasn't been able to do. But we will get into the second half, and this is where the craziest thing, or one of the craziest things, because I've seen a lot, I've been around a long time, one of the craziest things I've seen in a final of FC or FIFA esports, because this is, it's honestly unbelievable. I mean, I think what you're about to see, most people would feel sick, you know, if this happened to them in Foot Champs, let alone for tens of thousands of pounds in a final. Absolutely sickening. But he gets the ball out wide here, as we see, you know, playing for that cutback again. Wins a corner here. And again, as always, it is going to be this near post flick on, but watch this. Wins another corner. Keep watching. Can you imagine? Can you imagine losing tens of thousands in a final to this? And it's not... Obviously, unlucky things happen, right? But this is insanity. The ball goes up in the air. He's trying to head it out. His players bump into each other. And Haaland's just there for a free goal. It is absolutely insanity. And it's just this aerial football. You know, weird RNG. You know, whipping the ball in. Absolutely disgusting. Spoiler alert. That was the game-winning goal. Sickening. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this gave you some insight. Current state of this game, because it is a shambles. Appreciate you all watching. Let me know if you got this far. Leave a like, subscribe for more videos on how to improve, and peace. I'll catch you next time.